and switches. REA officials suggested that the co-op contract with local men and teach them on the job what they needed to know. Bernard Beecham was still a teenager when Pierce Pepin's manager, Andy Anderson, hired him to wire up Walter Leonard's farm outside of Ellsworth, the first farm on the co-op's job list.
My brother and brother-in-law, they never had done anything like that in their lives, and neither had I. I was between sophomore and junior in high school, and I was with them. And A.M. Anderson came out there and showed him what to buy, and he told him how to wire that house and that farm. And he'd give them going in the morning, and then he brought a pair of spurs for climbing the pole, and I'm out there putting the spurs on with the spur on the outside. I couldn't figure out how anybody could climb a pole. I finally figured out that it should be on the inside. And I skinned the pole a couple times before I learned how to climb it, but I got it going.
Early contract workers weren't hired to do just one job. They often did whatever needed to be done to get the members connected. Many members were willing to wait no matter how long it took for lines to be energized. Local labor did everything from dig post holes to haul utility poles and pull wire.
A lot of the challenges in Pierce County is we have some beautiful rolling, hilly, bluffy land it's hard to access and build lines on, and we get along our river bottoms, and we've got some pretty inaccessible terrain. It's pretty, but it's challenging, and to provide good, consistent service to our members.
We dug holes by hand in the old days with lots of them.
We got our first basket truck in 1964. Before that, anything that you wanted to do in the air, you climbed a damn pole or tree or whatever.
Shut the line off.
Yeah, or whatever to get up there to do it. Things have really changed over the years.
Remember the old days when we were on call? You had to take all the calls at home. When you went to work, your wife answered all the calls, even if she had to go to work the next day. And then when you got that outage, you come back in here and you called home, and there might be another outage right next door to the place you were, so you had to drive back out there again and come back. There was no cell phones, no nothing.
I have a deep appreciation for the challenges and how the rural members stepped up 75 years ago to work together, to put an organization together, and I'm proud to be part of it today. And hopefully with the people that we've got around us and our board of directors and their willingness to have more members serve in those roles, that 75 years from now they'll be able to look back again on it and say, yep, we've done all right. So it's I think it's neat. Some people pass off history as well. That's history and it's gone. But I think you always got to remember where you came from, because if nothing else, it creates some humbleness and some appreciation and some. Well, it's the framework or the foundation that sets the organization, and that part of it, I think, like I said earlier, the intent back then, the focus was on members getting together to take care of the need they have, and it's no different today. It's just some of our challenges are different today.
Cooperatives operate under what they call the 7 cooperative principles, and that's a format that each cooperative follows, but basically it's a democratic form of operation where they elect their own leaders. They provide education and training. One of the principles is cooperation among cooperatives. They'll work with each other, help each other out. One of the ways to help each other out is through the ROPES program. ROPES is an acronym that if you have a power outage, a storm comes through and a cooperative needs a lot of assistance, other cooperatives will come and help them out. Another principle is commitment to community, and cooperatives do a lot in the school system. As an example, to help ID children, to provide scholarships. There's the Youth Leadership Congress, where they'll provide scholarships to youth to provide opportunities for training and education to understand how cooperatives work, to encourage our future leaders. So you really understand that, they do a lot in the community. They provide efforts for Cancer Walk, to provide funding to help address community issues. They provide funding through Operation Roundup, which is a program that people have the opportunity to round their bill up. If your bill comes in at $74.37, you can round it up to $75, and that little bit comes in from every member. It provides a pool of funding then that helps people in the community in need. If they have a house fire and they need some money to help them get started again, there's a small stipend that's provided to them. Sometimes people in severe medical need can access some of that funding to help them out. So the concern for community really is what the cooperative represents, an understanding that they are part of the community, they live there, they work with the members, and they help meet the needs of the community through a variety of ways beyond just providing the electrical service.
These poles stand for something. They bring us reliable, affordable electricity. They also carry a vision that began back before the Second World War. These poles rose above the dust of the Great Depression through blood, sweat, and tears. Cooperatives brought light to darkness and electrified this country. Power would no longer be confined to the city limits. Lines stretched out to farms, ranches, and schoolhouses. Appliances came to life. Factories sprouted up. America spread her wings. But these poles just didn't appear out of thin air. These poles are pillars that were founded on principle by people with principles. Neighbors banded together, and communities came together to share ownership of the electricity that would advance everyone. Today, these poles are yours. They came to you with history, and they came to you with a responsibility. It's up to all of us to take care of what we have and use only what we need. It's the cooperative way. It also happens to be the right thing to do. By using electricity wisely, we can continue to build on a dream that started decades ago, and we can ensure that the spirit on which it was built continues for generations to come. As your electric service provider, it's our job to make sensible long-term energy decisions that will benefit you and the communities we serve for decades to come. The Power to Live Better celebrates the visionary, determined men and women who contributed to the rural electrification of Wisconsin's Pierce, Pepin, St. Croix, and Buffalo counties. Their foresight and commitment to cooperative business principles built the foundation that continues to support Pierce Pepin Cooperative Services in its mission today, to bring its members and their rural communities the power to live better.